When I was in 3rd grade, my cousin died of a sickness. Nobody told me it wasn't a sickness that doctors could fix. Nobody told me it was a sickness that hurt him deep inside, somewhere that it couldn't be cured. You can't control depression with Tylenol and Benadryl, but nobody told me that when I was 8. When I was in 4th grade, I caught that same sickness. I didn't tell anybody because I didn't understand why my life felt like it meant nothing. Why I always felt so sad and so empty. I didn't tell anybody because I was afraid of people thinking I was a freak. Because I was sad all the time, and I didn't care about my grades, and I was brash and angry instead of being good like all the other little 9-year-olds. I knew I was sick, and they weren't. I assumed they must have been taking their Tylenol and Benadryl. When I was in 6th grade, I was dying of a sickness that I knew more about than any 11-year-old should ever have to. I pushed away my friends because I knew that one day my sickness would kill me, and I didn't want them hurting as bad as I did. I wrote it all down, but my teacher found me before the sickness had the chance to take my life. He found me with a tiny little note in my tiny little hands that explained everything. He told my parents before I had the chance to do anything, before I had the chance to try Tylenol and Benadryl. When I was in 7th grade, the sickness almost killed me. I was out, I was proud, and I made damn sure that people never knew I had the sickness. I made damn sure that nobody knew I cried myself to sleep every night because I was failing my classes, and I was never good enough for my parents to be proud of me, for my friends and family to be proud of me. The other kids got good grades, but I could never muster up the will to do my homework. Not when I thought I'd be dead before I'd be driving. More than a few times, I almost tried Tylenol and Benadryl. When I was in 9th grade, my best friend in the entire world almost died of the sickness. He couldn't handle living anymore, and I never blamed him. How could I? When the world we lived in was cruel enough to sling slurs at us from behind Buff's windows, from behind our backs in the halls, on our way in and out of school every day. He ended up in the hospital, and I ended up in the counselor's office every day for a month, crying for hours about how much I missed my very best friend. He wanted to cure his sickness, so he took Tylenol and Benadryl. When I was in 10th grade, I started to get control of my sickness. I owned it, called it by name, so that the little voice in my head that told me what to do when things got really bad wouldn't be disrespected. I thought there was a name and a voice. The sickness was personified, and it couldn't hurt me more than I hurt it. I was wrong, and it hurt me a hell of a lot more, in a hell of a lot of ways, but I recovered, and I stood proud before my sickness, and I told it to piss off. And I moved on. Nonetheless, I understood that maybe I couldn't control my little brain plague with Tylenol and Benadryl, but I could definitely work through it with a little help.